Hello there everyone, your fluffy armchair Admiral Latter is back with some more hot patch notes action. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, in this episode I will only cover through new Alpha 3 patch notes, so you can hear my thoughts as the video was recorded. It's only first minute of the video when I'm re-recording the audio, because obviously well, I have to apologize, but I failed to render the previous video fast enough, so everything goes a bit delayed. So yeah, I'm sorry for that. Anyway, uh, I strongly encourage you to listen to what I had to say when I was recording this video. Have fun. Cheers. It might be a bit longer video than usual, which I apologize for, but well, I hope it's gonna be worth it. So, new special features. Custom battles. You can now choose to fight randomly during years 1890 and 1930. Okay, selecting the nation, fleet composition and year for both you and opponent. The feature is linked to the upcoming campaign progression, so errors, warnings may occur. For example, ships might not be available for a nation in a specific year. We are going to improve further the functionality in next updates. Okay, that sounds really good, and I hope that thanks to that feature, we will be able to actually see much more fleet warfare than we did so far, because most of the academy missions resembles around us building one or two very strong ships that are supposed to do very specific thing. We were rarely actually involved in a proper fleet-to-fleet warfare to see if our design will fit into a larger scheme. So this is a very cool feature, and I hope that we will spend a lot of time actually playing custom battles instead of actual missions in the academy. Explore all available holes via the custom battles. Okay, so that's actually a new feature. We delayed the patch to create this additional feature. In custom battle mode, you can quick start or design your desired ship class of your fleet. You will be able to select all available hulls of the selected nation and year. Enabling the setting unlock will provide you all hulls of all nations for the selected year. This feature replaced and supersedes the previous cheat mode, unlock parts text. All cheats had to be eventually disabled, because they caused multiple issues to the game and were replaced by this new feature, which can be easily played by anyone without exploits. Okay, I really like that, and basically now we got clear explanation why this patch was basically delayed by almost a week. Is it worth it? Well, we're going to find out. However, there will be no more videos where I'm using, well, that's cheat menu or cheat console. I don't think I've ever used it exactly on the screen, but you've seen some of the results on in some of the movies or in some of the videos that I made. Damage decals. You will notice much more detailed damage effects on ship hulls due to shell or torpedo impact, and realize where each hull penetration took place. Well, that's a good and nice visual feature, mostly. I don't think I've been spending too much time on my videos to actually look at different ships. We might eventually spend much more time this time. So we'll see. Improved combat penetration info. Detailed penetration estimator shows up when you hover your mouse over an identified target, including information about sections that you can penetrate, your total penetration power over the enemy armor, ricochet angles, and side deck hit chances. You can use this in reverse by selecting enemy ship and pressing the Alt key while hovering your mouse over your own ship. This feature should help players to understand what is the best distance and angle to attack versus heavily armored warships. Well, I would say this is a good feature, but it should be available only in academy missions so that people can actually learn how to properly angle their ships versus enemy. They will also understand how different values they put into armor work. It will definitely speed up learning process for people that don't really understand what different armor values means. But a good idea. I really love that idea. And we'll definitely have a look at some point how this new feature looks like. I might probably forget to do that in today's video, because there are so many changes. Save and name your designs. At last, I would say. That is a very long awaited feature by almost everyone who's playing this game. How many times did I actually designed a ship or a project, and I did that while I was doing research, for example, for rebuilding one of the historical ships, and I had to basically either memorize or take notes of each module and part that I put on the ship, and there's so many of them, so I had notes all over my desk, and it was really annoying. Later on I managed to upgrade that, and I basically remembered what parts I'm putting onto the ship. But as the game will grow, I will definitely struggle more and more to actually rebuild my old designs, because the amount of parts will be much larger, and finding what I need exactly and when to put it, where to put it, is going to be a real pain. So saving those designs and basically naming them will be cool to have. And I'm hoping that you guys will start to leave the comments with some cool ship names for me to actually name my monstrosities and designs in next and upcoming videos. So share your comments down below. Tell me what kind of ship names you would like to see eventually. Bear in mind, I would recommend you to keep with some sort of civil and not rude names. I won't use any swear words in my ship designs. But whatever you can find, any fun ship designs and names that you would like to see, I'm totally happy to name those ships basically with your advice. Right, coming up next, we got list of new missions. There is 6 new missions in total, apart from new game mode. So that gives us basically 7 missions, with one of them being totally dynamic and like customizable, yeah, or customizable. I'm struggling with my accents, so sorry about that. So we got mission Sink the Raiders. Use your semi-dreadnought or other ship to defend your transport from 3 dangerous cruisers. We might actually do that mission tonight. Meet the US battleships. Try to defeat 2 very large and experimental battleships of US design. Yeah, that sounds like an interesting mission. I might have a look at it, maybe in my next video. I'll see what kind of warships I can design, and we might do some fun video out of it. I'm hoping for some Japanese design. That would be really cool. Rise of the Heavy Cruiser. Design modern heavy cruisers without the constraints of treaties and confront 3 strong reconstructed armored cruisers. Well, Uh, I think we might found ourselves a good mission for one day. I really love that concept. We might definitely play that. There can be only one. A speculative Iowa versus Yamato scenario. The ships, of course, are not identical, but their designs are based on the historical hulls. I mean, yeah, um, it's it's really saddening that they didn't put any limits to that mission, and you get random of these two nations, and basically the enemy ship will in fact be either Iowa or Yamato. But well, you can't get anything, everything, I guess. But yeah, it would be very cool mission if this would have those constraints, and if enemy ship would always be either one of them. Sing the Cruiser Killer. Fight versus an experimental and deadly battle cruiser. I hope that the limits for this mission is actually like a heavy or like lightly armored cruiser for the player. That would be cool mission to play, even though we already have similar mission, which I basically covered in my previous video. Heavy duty. Design modern warship and fight versus a super battleship and its escorts. Yeah. Again, it's pretty much mission that is similar to a modern battleship mission, I believe, because we obviously could design a modern battleship and fight with like a semi-modern fleet. So we'll see how this mission will eventually work, but it seems like a bit of a copy of existing mission. So I'm really like worried about the outcome. There are new Naval Academy balances. I won't be going through them. It's like changes to current missions. Apologize for that. Okay. So the biggest change in Naval Academy balances is that this time they actually limited the amount of ships to 30 for every single mission. So if you remember one of my videos, I think it was third video in the series of lots of guns, where I managed to build like 70 or 80 destroyers and attack a super heavy battleship. Well, that unfortunately will no longer be possible even using some sort of magical cheats, because limit for the mission is 30, so no more than 30 ships will eventually be generated. Okay, so we got changes to combat and gameplay, and those are very, very important changes. Those are mechanical changes, so like improved secondary guns penetration and accuracy. A very long-awaited change, and I'm looking forward to actually test a new penetration and accuracy of 8-inch and lower guns. I'm really hoping that accuracy will in fact be in par with what it should be, so we can build a proper designs of so-called heavy cruisers, which were equipped historically mostly with up to 8-inch guns. Torpedo boats less resilient against gunfire. Okay, that is a very good and important change. Obviously, previously, torpedo boats could actually withstand quite a lot of beating, and they could survive like a hit from large caliber gun in certain circumstances, and still keep fighting, even though they were mostly devastated and useless after such hit. It was really ridiculous to see a boat that is the size of like a civilian motorboat being hit by 16-inch shell and happily sailing along. Anyway, I hope that this is no longer possible. Penetration rebalance for more effective medium-long range encounters. HE shells should not be as overpowered as previously. So I'm hoping that long-range HE fire won't be as effective as it used to be previously. When you've looked through some of my videos, maybe you haven't seen that much of that stuff, but there are many more videos on YouTube which clearly highlights that HE shells over a long distance shot were absolutely overpowered. And I hope that this has changed. So, fixed issue with hull damage that made severely damaged ships and torpedo boats too hard to sink. Finally, do you remember? Sorry, blah blah blah. Okay, do you remember the mission bully getting bullied? That, ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly what happened to me. The enemy ship was basically dead. I shortened the distance between our two ships and got hooded just because that particular thing happened to me. And enemy was basically too hard to damage, even though he was taking a beating for entire duration of the battle. Anyway, I hope that there will be much less of such situations, especially when enemy is not doing anything to actually angle against my shots. Right, reduced ladder arm aiming penalty for initial salvo shot from -75 to -50% because it caused too low accuracy at close range. Okay, so I'm not sure about this idea. It's it sounds really funny because obviously you've seen some of my videos. I had, I think, a good example of such video was my first two-gun challenge video, where I just casually like evaporated a torpedo boat that was getting close to my battleships. I just spotted the bastard, clicked it once, and like few seconds later he got basically obliterated by a first shot, which happens to be a ranging shot. And it was really funny moment of that video. But yeah, it happened. It tended to happen before that some of my ranging shots were actually killing blows for enemy lighter vessels, even at short range. So I'm not sure about this change. It may cause situations where a ranging shot is actually hitting the target, and it might cause some serious issues in terms of balance, especially when you build some super heavy ship and you are fighting with lighter vessels. Right. Cordite, tube powder, TNT explosives rebalanced to reflect better their special characteristics. Cordite offers more explosive power, but is unsafe. Okay, tube powder is the safest explosive and more effective in penetrating armor. Okay, I like that. And TNT is very expensive, but overall the best compromise between the two. I apologize. Well, that sounds like a really good change, and I hope to have a look at this. Okay, what else? Fixed issue of radar towers, increasing too much the surface visibility of ships that carry them. Okay, so that means that I was visible from longer range by the enemy, or what? Because that's how I understand this sentence. If that's the case, well, it should also depend in if enemy has radio direction finder or not, because that should be the module that actually influences like counter radar abilities, and it should catch the radar waves and highlight, okay, there's a guy with the radar like 20 kilometers away, what you gonna do about it? At least I'm hoping that they're gonna introduce like a radar countermeasure mechanics where I don't need to have radar, but if enemy has radar, it turns it into a double-edged sword. It would be actually cool idea to have. New oxygen fueled torpedoes. So finally, Japanese torpedoes are making its way into the game. And we also have 2 new calibers for those torpedoes. So now the the biggest caliber for torpedoes is going to be 24-inch, which I'm hoping will be very, very dangerous against modern vessels especially. So if you remember my mission against that super modern battleship, where I took like 70 or 80 torpedo boats against him, you've probably noticed that I had to score like 50 or 60 torpedo hits to actually take him down, and each of the torpedo hits was basically doing no damage at all. So guess what? Now we got new toys to test. Right. Late tech torpedoes have even more intensified damage, so they are useful against heavily protected battleships. Again, I hope they really made those changes. Right, torpedo protection now also increases floatability but reduces acceleration and turning speed, making a ship slightly less maneuverable. Yet, it will be vital for your capital ships in order to survive against the stronger torpedo threat. Okay, so I'm guessing no more torpedo beats using battleships. I don't mind. I guess, well, that's how this thing should be designed. Torpedoes should be deadly against battleships, but torpedo protection should be affecting like ships' maneuverability, because obviously it's adding some extra weight, it's adding some extra different unexpected shapes to the ship. So no wonder that this type of protection will definitely affect that. We'll see how it works in practice as we will design new ships. Citadel armor schemes increase the armor quality, but are more expensive. Okay, that will be a huge change. Citadel is a feature not yet finalized, but this new functionality simulates better its influence in armor schemes and vitals protection. Okay, so that will be an interesting change to look into. Ship steering, acceleration, slight rebalance for more realistic maneuvering. This balance addressed additionally the over-effectiveness in evading torpedoes and the unnaturally very tight turning circles of small ships, which causes also issues in formation and evasion logic. What? Okay, so that probably means that every single ship will become a bit more sluggish to actually simulate proper ship behavior at sea a bit better. I'm hoping that that's basically what they are trying to achieve. Coal engines produce more smoke obstruction from funnels. Oil fuel engines will significantly reduce this penalty. Okay, so now actually selecting engine and different propellant for that engine will make a difference to our accuracy, to how smoke is obstructing our targeting, which is mechanic that I already mentioned a few times during my videos, where I've tried to position myself against the wind in such way that that should technically mitigate this sort of behavior. So the smoke should be blown away from the ship, away from the way that we need to target. We'll see if that mechanics is starting to get properly introduced with next patches, I believe, but this is a good start. Engines HP efficiency and engines horsepower efficiency and other related balances for improved ship maneuverability with the proper design and vice versa. Okay, we will see how this works in practice. There should be a bit more impact on ships' engine efficiency. Reduced slightly the penetration penalty of light shells from minus 7.5% to minus 5%. Their weaker weight and steeper trajectories at long ranges made them too inefficient. Okay. Visual. Guns smoothly elevate to fire at target and depress to reload. So we will have actual reload animation for ships. I'm hoping to take a nice close shot to my ship and actually highlight this new feature. It will be very good in terms of visuals. Water displacement effects, better waves, ship splashes, and interaction with water. Okay, so as the title of the section says, it's mostly visual changes. Improved fog dissipation over distance, sinking mechanic improved so that ships do not jump to a default sinking state as previously. Ships will gradually sink according to their last floating state. So that's a nice feature. It will include which compartments were flooded, if there were any. It will hopefully include the damage. So if it was mostly on the front of the ship that shells landed, probably that section of the ship will go down faster because it's full of holes. And we'll see if those things actually affect that. Fixed issue with USA battleship hull type. No mission design at Dreadnought includes a properly looking and scaled model based on BB South Carolina. Okay, I would really like to see that. So wait, the model that I've been looking at, it was not properly scaled and sorted. Wow. Okay. So I might go back to South Carolina design at one point. Cage mast towers are available to a series of hulls belonging to USA. Okay. I'm hoping to build some of the standard battleship designs, like New Mexico, for example. It was very beautiful looking ship, and I would like to recreate it in the game. So I'm hoping to actually build Colorado, build New Mexico. So stick with my channel, subscribe, and we will definitely see some of those ships being built by me. New modern battleship assets based on Battleship Musashi. Okay. I mean, it was a sister ship to Yamato, so it's still like a Yamato design. There are very slight changes between those two ships, so I mean, you don't need to make it a separate ship class, I believe. We'll see how it goes. New modern battleship towers and hull types based on Battleship Missouri, Iowa. Okay, so we can properly build American looking battleship, and so I'm hoping to recreate one of those two ships in the future. New heavy cruiser hull types based on Italian cruiser Pola. I think I remember which one that was. Basically, it was one of the three sister ships that were sunk by British during a single raid in one specific unfortunate day. I think it was 1941 or 1942 when they were sunk. Anyway, three cruisers were basically sunk in a very short amount of time by British. They've actually managed to snag like battleships very close to three Polar class cruisers and totally destroy them. So yeah, we might try to recreate those cruisers. In fact, I'll see what I can do, and I'll see if I can find some historical designs of them. Several other hull types unlocked to become playable. Nice. Several new visualizations for guns according to technology. Fixed also some issues with scale for some guns. Okay, that will be nice. Hopefully there will be much less collisions and much less issues with guns being way too big for the ship, with parpettes being way bigger than actual space on the hull that it is being proposed to be installed. So I'm hoping to get that issues out of the way so that players can install every single module that is available on the list for every single hull that they select. Battle AI. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm actually scared because Battle AI needs a lot of work and there are only two changes. So that means that this is not a primary objective yet. I'm hoping to see much more AI updates in the future. So, slight fix of AI related with formations. Oh my goodness, formations. AI should give formation and respond to screen orders at better distances. The fix is not final. AI is going to be optimized on this aspect in the next updates. So that means that when the first ship information gets badly hit, it won't turn around and do some crazy shenanigans to place himself in the back of the formation. Or did you change the pathfinding so that this ship will actually move slightly away from the course so the rest of the ships can overtake him and it will dynamically join at the back of the formation or what? Because I'm struggling to find out how did you sorted out this aspect of naval warfare. Fixed issues of AI related to engage mechanics. AI ships should approach more gradually and fire broadside salvos at more effective angle and distance. Okay, so AI will be a bit more aggressive. AI will try to shorten the distance to optimal values for their ships, and then unleash rats on our ship. I wish to see that in action, and I can't wait actually. So we'll see. Battle mechanics. Targeting became more dynamic and is affected more smoothly due to maneuvering. Okay, so I'm guessing a ship that is actually turning or maneuvering a lot will have its accuracy much more affected by different factors. Ladder aiming may be acquired faster, but aiming can be lost very soon due to evasive maneuvers. This new feature will make much more effective your evasive actions against long-range guns that previously could lock on you and progressively destroy you without a real chance to do something to avoid them. Okay, so now when you build a fleet of destroyers, light cruisers, or even heavy cruisers, and stick at longer ranges from very large enemy or enemy that has very large guns, you should technically be able to shake off his aiming by turning a lot. I really want to see this mechanic in action, because that may lead to some interesting battles, like designing heavy cruiser to fight like 2 or 3 battleships and see if we can actually wear them down by maneuvering and making them to like fire all the shells, run out of ammo, and then close the distance and finish them off. I'm really tempted to see that in action. However, that is a tactics that requires a lot of time, and recording such battle would be a real pain for you guys. Actually, watching battle that will last for 2 hours, so that I can maneuver around incoming fire and then eventually kill the enemy when it's run out of ammo, which I managed to achieve in this game only once. In fact, but it's not being recorded at that time, unfortunately. But yeah, in that numbers don't matter mission, during one of my trials and errors, I once actually built a 3 battleship fleet that was so strongly armored that enemy couldn't just finish me off, and he ran out of ammo before he did that, and that's how I managed to beat that mission for the first time, actually. So that's a crazy story related to lack of ammunition. Anyway, we will try to test this, and I might eventually figure out how to cut the video when I'm performing such maneuver on the enemy. It might be interesting. Barbette damage, no cause damage to its attached gun and vice versa. Okay, so that is very interesting. So when you get raised barbette and that barbette gets damaged, it will also damage the gun that is attached on top of that barbette. I love it. Previously it had no effect on each other, so you could have your gun tower destroyed and barbette fully intact, which, yeah, very rarely happened. It's like when the shell hit a gun, it usually meant there is a ammunition detonation on, or there is some sort of a disaster coming really fast. Okay, detected torpedoes are now indicated by a visual warning for a short period of time. I really hate that feature. I'm really opposite to that feature. Torpedo spotting should remain as it used to be, and it should be a toggle connected to like a game difficulty level. So when you select easy, yes, of course you can have all those indicators, all those arcade UI elements. However, the higher difficulty you select, you should get less and less and less UI elements, because, well, the game is really nicely designed, and any UI element is actually helping you. So getting indicators that, yeah, we've spotted our torpedoes, should not happen. It should require a player to actually look at its ship and react to what is happening in real time, observe a lot, and give some space for errors. When you will get clear indicators that you've spotted a torpedo, then you can just basically quickly move to related ship and take evasive actions for each individual ship, while commanding a fleet is becoming a less of a challenge thanks to that. So I don't like this change, personally. I had multiple occasions where I've been commanding a fleet and I got struck by torpedo because I couldn't just keep up with the amount of ships that I had. And that was a nice feature to have, because it actually made some space for me, or it forced me to make some sort of errors, so it could compensate for weaker AI. And right now it is getting mitigated, and AI is being still stupid because it hasn't been upgraded that much. Okay. Next up is improved shell ballistic mechanics, addressing cases where shells could go too wide at short ranges. Yeah, I get that, and I agree with that. Sometimes you had absolutely terrible accuracy from your guns, and your shells were finding like completely unrealistic paths, especially at shorter ranges, so that is a good change. Improve. Sorry, we are on this point. You can now target with your torpedoes independently at targets by shift plus right click. It is an incomplete feature, not including UI elements. We will finalize on next update. Okay, so that's a good start. We can aim our torpedoes separately to our main guns, which means that if we are shooting our main guns to a ship that is passing on our like right side, and there is another ship on our left side that might be closer, but it's less of a threat, we can actually order our torpedoes to aim at this bastard and just waste them as we are passing next to it. It will open some new tactical possibilities for battle. I look forward to see that in practice. Ship design. Minor interface fixes. Some stats were not properly updated. More fixes will follow on next updates. I love that. Improved AI ship design with proper focusing on armor for battleships. So that means that enemy battleships will actually be armored now. Okay, we'll see. Some minor bug fixes reported by players related with ship assets. Okay, so I'm hoping that the assets will be much more adjusted to the ship. There were a few assets that were present on the list, and the player had no chance to actually install them because they've never fit. So I'm hoping that this gets actually addressed with this change. Slight more flexibility in mounting guns, towers, barbettes, funnels. Yes. That is a long-awaited change, as it will definitely help design better and better ships. More fixes will follow in next updates. Okay, battle UI. Gun rangers now show with better visuals and are optimized for better performance. You can toggle them to fade out after some time or not from the in-battle settings. Okay, we'll see. We'll look at this. Gun stats show what is their propellant. Okay. We will definitely look into that feature. Added notification when battle time runs out. Okay. We will have a look at this. I had multiple occasions where I didn't notice that the battle time is actually running out, and the battle started to end, and then I realized, oh shit, I just missed by a few seconds. I apologize for that. Anyway, bug fixes. Fixed error message bug caused by gun aiming calculations. Okay, never had that. Fixed crash related with an amount of torpedoes fired. Never had that as well. It actually never happens to me. Fixed timer not reverting to maximum speed even though enemy was completely unseen. Oh yes, I had that few times where I couldn't set time 10 speed, and I had to chase enemy at times 3. It was so annoying. Fixed error of log report that could make it completely invisible for player. Yeah, I had that all the time. So it was not a single time error, it was all the time. Fixed bug that could make invisible AI ships traceable by using the mouse pointer. Yeah, I think I had that few times where I could spot a ship with my mouse pointer by hovering it over like a smoke screen and stuff. I could actually highlight the place where the ship is. Not that it really matters, because you can't just fire into an area at the sea, and I don't think it makes any difference, and that you can still hit enemy anyway. Fixed crash that could be caused in ship design interface when pressing a hotkey for a disabled category. Okay, never had that, but I'm not using hotkeys, so that might be the reason why. Fixed issue of flags that could become white at a certain angle. Yeah, it might have happened to me. I've never really noticed that. It was slight, like a small visual change, so nice to have it. Fixed bug, fix a bug related with the scrolling of help window. Didn't use help window that much, so didn't even notice. Fixed issue with operational range not altering weight in some late ship designs. Yeah, I noticed that actually. I didn't knew that this is actually a bug. Fixed distorted damage info window for ships that disappear from line of sight. Yeah, I had that in a couple of missions. I think it has been also recorded on one of the videos. I think that was, can't remember exactly which one. That might have been a deja vu video when I've been actually chasing ships that ran away. Or that was, oh, no, that was upgrades, more upgrades video, where I've been chasing enemy fleet of, I think, one light cruiser and heavily damaged Dreadnought, and I could basically see their info screens being like a very distorted, so you can notice that on the video at some point. So that is the bug that was causing it. They fixed it now. Good. Other, some game performance optimizations increase the FPS for all PC systems. Okay, so I might eventually think to set the game to better graphic settings. I'm now using good, but there are two more higher, so I might try to go for fantastic or like a top graphics that I can get. Minor improvement on gunfire, shell trails and impact sounds. Okay, I look forward to see that. In-game music reverted back to full functionality. As you can basically hear, we always had background music, so definitely that is going to be affected. Removed possibility to enable developer debug options on build. Yeah, so we can no longer turn on that developer menu. Much faster loading of ship designer interface. Okay. It was never a problem for me, really. Some of the load times might have been longer, but that's when we had all the modules unlocked. Added graphics quality slider in settings. Okay, I think I've noticed that. And added option centimeter in measurement system. Okay. That's an interesting change. And finally, if you are YouTube playing Ultimate and receive a copyright claim, please dispute the claim and it will be resolved within 48 hours. In the Google Dispute dialog, write in the reason fields. Game Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, music is licensed, okay, and license number is being given to us. You can avoid the above mentioned procedure if you turn off the music while broadcasting our game. Okay. So that is it. As you can see, yeah, YouTube may eventually make a copyright strike against my movies. I will see how it works with this video, because I'm going to leave the music on when I post this video. If it happens to me that I will receive a copyright strike on this video, to avoid getting that 48-hour delay on every single of my videos, that it actually gets properly posted, I might disable the music again. But for now, I wish to leave the music on, so that I can like fully enjoy the game, that you can enjoy the game, and not being stuck with only my voice, which I understand that might not be the like the nicest one. Anyway, it made a really long video, just reading through new features. So I think I will leave it that way. Unfortunately, today we won't see any action. Or maybe. We'll see about that. Anyway, stay tuned. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you want to get informed about my new uploads, hit that notification bell button, and don't forget to share your comments down below. Have a great day and see you all later. Later out.